Alright, let's go to Toronto. Cue one of those quick intro things. How are you? Well, good. Okay, so we're here today in Toronto and I'm shooting street photography with my friend Joe. This is Joe.
Hey guys.
And we're going to be using some budget lens, and we're using the term budget loosely because budget lenses sometimes get a bad name. But we're using the 7 Artisans lenses. He's going to be shooting on his Fuji camera and I'm going to be shooting on the A6300. And we're going to do some street photography. First up, I'm going to get Joe to explain what street photography is really quickly.
Generally, street photography, I just try to give, a view of, what's going on in your environment, and whether that's in an urban setting or whether you live in the country. I don't think street photography needs to be 100% defined by a city. But shooting in Toronto,
in the country, though.
shooting in Toronto today, we certainly have some beautiful cityscapes to take full advantage of it. And whether you're basing your street photography around the people in your environment or the building structures and architecture, you can really get a wide variety of options when you're in a city. So we'll talk about why these lenses are so great and the versatility that you can get with them, different options for focusing since they are manual focus lenses, and we'll cover all those bases.
Okay, first off, here's some B-roll of this beautiful little alleyway. Okay, so we're going to go to some locations and shoot some photos and then describe exactly what we're doing as we're doing it. So sometimes when you're shooting street photography, it's really awkward to take pictures of people. They might not want to have their picture taken and it's awkward to ask. So you're just trying to shoot pictures of people, maybe without them knowing. A challenge with this is if you're using a manual focus lens, like these 7 Artisan lenses, it's really hard to pinpoint exactly what you want to focus on. So Joe is going to show you a really quick technique for zone focusing that'll allow you to take pictures of people as they walk into your frame. It's just much quicker to do. Take it away, Joe.
So one thing that's fantastic about these 7 Artisan lenses is that they have a depth of field scale on them. So what's really great about this is you can pre-focus. So if you start at infinity, anything that's further away than 15 feet or 5 meters is going to be in focus. So you can see that if you have focus peaking turned on with your mirrorless camera, you'll see all the highlights are bright red. And then if we shift it, you can see where it changes focus from the streetcar and those buildings to the gate and then the people that are right there. And that's a very minimal shift because I'm shooting at an f-stop of close to 4. So what's amazing about this is you can pre-focus before you're getting ready to take your photo. And once you get used to using this system, you won't ever have to manually adjust the focus. You can just say, oh, okay, well, I'm waiting for that person to come within 2 meters or however many feet to take the photograph of them. And then you're literally just pulling the camera to your face and shooting. It makes, simplifies the process a lot better and allows you to focus more on composition and making sure that you're getting, the exact moment for them to walk through the frame. The other benefit of this is you're never waiting for the autofocus to catch up. So if it's a little bit of a lower light situation, there's no hunting or anything like that happening. You're literally choosing where the image is going to be, and then as soon as you press it, you're capturing that image. So.
So we're back at Joe's now. We just went out for the day shooting some photos, which you saw. And we just wanted to kind of tell you about what we like and what we didn't like about these lenses. I'm shooting on the A6300 and this was the 7 Artisans 25mm f1.8. What do you have?
So I'm shooting on the Fuji X Pro 2, and this one is the 7 Artisans 35 f1.2. So this one's going to be about an equivalent of 50mm on full frame, and Chris's, I believe, is about
35-ish,
like
yeah.
Close to somewhere between 35 and 40. So the great thing about both these lenses, and why we were talking about street photography earlier, is these are two pretty ideal focal lengths. This one being maybe a little bit better for capturing people, street portraits, and then on this one, you're getting a great field of view for capturing someone in the moment, or a wide enough angle to capture a great image of a street front or storefront or something like that.
Absolutely. I think as well, like if we were to talk about build quality of these lenses, this one was $79.99 US at the time of doing this video. How much does your one come out to be?
I paid about $179 Canadian,
okay.
So let's call it $130 to $140 US.
Yeah. Now they're both, obviously this is an E-mount, so this is Sony and then this is Fuji, but you can buy both in the variants for whatever respective camera mount system you have, and it's pretty much the same price. Mm-hmm. So price is obviously different, but the build quality of yours is a lot better.
Yeah, I found it was quite solid. I was blown away by the build quality of this. Many people complained about the focus not necessarily being smooth or having play. I didn't experience that at all. It's incredibly smooth, very easy to manual focus with, very easy to focus with during video. And having that clickless aperture, declicked aperture, is great if you want to get creative with doing some film work or making an adjustment on the fly. If you have a lighting change, it's really great because you don't hear it in the video, it's silent. So great feature to have on both of these lenses.
Agreed. And once we kind of played around with the zone focus, which Joe showed me how to do, that I really liked. It was quick and easy to focus on things. Once you, instead of just kind of looking through and trying to find focus, literally start at infinity and then go backwards, and it's so much quicker to focus compared to just trying to search it yourself and always missing the shot or not getting it in focus.
Yeah, messing around back and forth is very it's very common for trying to manually focus with this. It's a recommendation for any lens. If you always start at infinity and work your way back, you'll finally be able to focus much quicker, especially with street photography. The only time that you're going to want to start at the opposite end is if you're incredibly close to your subject and doing close-ups or macro photography.
So let's talk about some stuff that we didn't like.
Taking into consideration the price, I have to say it's an incredible lens and fantastic value. If you're expecting to take, tack sharp portraits at f1.2, that's not going to happen.
No.
However, if you want to have incredible bokeh and have a really nice vintage looking lens appeal to it, these are based on a sonar lens style. So if you like that, Leica look to your photos, this really changes up the look of a photograph compared to some of the traditional style lenses. So I've shot with the Fuji 35 f2 and the Fuji 35 f1.4, and this is a completely different look to it. Especially shooting at f1.2, and even the depth of field that you get stopping down all the way to f5.6. I took some interesting portraits of Chris, which we can show you guys afterwards, where the bokeh is just incredible, even at f5.6.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, I'd say that's the biggest thing is at the lower apertures at f1.8, f2, it's not overly sharp really at all. It's not till you start getting to f2.8 and above where you really do get it crispy, as I mentioned before in the review I did of this. But aside from that, I really don't think there's anything not to like about this.
Yeah, for the price, I couldn't recommend this enough for everyone to have in their toolkit. I mean, if you don't have a 50mm equivalent portrait lens for a Fuji or an E-mount, you can't go wrong with this. If you're willing to take the time to practice with manual focus, or you're shooting it in a studio setting where you can take your time with predictable lighting, you're gonna get incredible results for less than $200 for either of these lenses. You can't go wrong.
It's a no-brainer completely. So yeah, we'll put the links down below for these if you want to check either of these out. As I said, Fuji, Sony, but you can buy the respective camera system mount version of whichever lens you decide to go ahead with. But these are two great lenses for street photography. And yeah, I think that's about it really.
Yeah.
So if you like what you saw today, you know what to do. Hit that little like button down below. And if you want to check out Joe, where can people find you?
Currently I'm just running a little profile on Instagram. I'll definitely have more stuff upcoming soon. But check it out, it's at GetJCN, so just GETJCN. Check it out.
Link that right down below in case you want to check out his Instagram too. If you haven't gathered by now, I was talking before about potentially doing a podcast with somebody, and that's actually going to be with Joe. So if you're interested in listening to us pretty much ramble on about a whole bunch of different topics, video, photography, using film cameras, different lenses, street photography, anything like that, we are going to be doing a podcast. It's going to be coming soon, so stay tuned for that. And until then, I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.